Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Christian Duke, and we're here at the StrengthAddicts.com International Studios. It's a very elaborate... Hey, how you doing? I just said hi to someone that doesn't exist. We're here at the International Studios of StrengthAddicts.com. Very elaborate setup we have here. I'm actually seated on the carpeted floor. To my right, we've got this small bookshelf, and to my left, we have the door. Today, I want to talk about a post I put on Strength Addicts VIP. That's right. There are two Strength Addicts groups. There's the large one with 37,000 followers, which unfortunately, because of Facebook's bizarre income-driven greed and desire to make more money, I can only hit 10%. So I don't go on that one that much. But then we have Strength Addicts VIP, which is a closed reserve group you have to actually request to join. There's no spam, and there's just cutting-edge IFBB, NPC, amazing coverage, articles, interviews, stories, giveaways, and all that fun stuff. Strength Addicts VIP. If I don't like you, don't even bother replying because I won't let you in. But anyways, so Strength Addicts VIP, very important person. If anybody could get in, it wouldn't be VIP, right? It would just be like Strength Addicts Peasant, you know what I mean? It's VIP, so you have to be very important to me. But anyways, speaking of potato chips, today I put up a very interesting post on Phil Heath, and I said we are currently living in a very special era of bodybuilding. The competition has finally reached a level of quality that's at least somewhat reminiscent of the 1990s. We have great battles in the top 3 and top 5 at both the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. However, it should be mentioned that the top spot belongs to one man, and one man only. His name is Phil Heath, and until he decides to hang him up, I don't think anyone will be able to knock him out. Shawn Rhoden, aka Flexitron, could potentially edge him out given the correct circumstances, but no one's knocking Heath out anytime soon. And that's what I said. Now, we had some very interesting comments here, one especially from the Black Prince himself, Mr. Robbie Robinson, and he said in caps, he has to get his gut down, speaking of the gift Phil Heath. And then also we had a very interesting comment from Mr. 70 Plus Universe, Dion Friedland, who I've met and I've interviewed, and he trains at North Miami Beach. LA Fitness. Guy is a freak, amazing quality muscle, great posing, all that. And he said, how much bigger must Shawn Rhoden get to win? To which I replied, that's a really interesting question, Dion, because Shawn is only about 8 or 9 pounds lighter than Phil, so I don't even know if it's truly a size question. Then again, and then I go on to say a lot of commentators mention it. In the second comment, I say, additionally, I think they're both the same height, which I think they are. It's pretty much an even match in my opinion, and it really is. And then Dion asks, does Shawn have any weaknesses? To which I'm making this video because I really, honestly, in my opinion, don't see that he has any. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to drink some BPI, BPI Sports Best, what's it called? Best BCAA. A little redundant, right? But whatever. Blue raspberry. Redundant on my part, not on theirs. They didn't say BCAA twice, I did. Very good. It keeps me anabolic throughout the recording of this video. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? There's nobody in here but me. And so anyways, basically, I don't think that Shawn Rhoden has any weaknesses. I mean, I look at the guy. Structurally, he's complete. He's got a tiny-ass waist. I mean, if it was any tinier, he'd be Melvin Anthony. I think his waist is tinier than his. He's got good hand glute tie-ins. He's got good shoulders, good arms, good legs, good wheels, basically. He has calves. Sorry, Dexter. He's got everything there. I mean, he isn't a jerk. Sorry, Kai. He's got everything that we want. The only thing is, for some odd reason, now I know a lot of people are saying like Louis Marco, Kai was robbed. Kai was robbed. Kai was not robbed. Okay, Dennis was robbed. Shawn was robbed. Kai was not robbed. Kai was gifted. But the thing is, pun intended. But the thing is, you know, in all honesty, you know, okay, I'm going to put my biases on the table. I don't like Kai Green's physique, you know, and I don't like his personality either. Personally, I don't like this whole, you know, I'm so blue collar and I live in the projects. And maybe it was good back in 2007, 2008. But now it's just like, but you know, what really bothered me about Kai Green, not to get off on a tangent, what really bothered me about him was the way he acted at last year's Olympia, and him and George Farah, and you know, Ronnie Coleman, when Ronnie Coleman was talking about Jay Cutler with Dexter Jackson next to him and said Jay was smoking crack, I think George Farah was smoking some crack, because to even suggest that the last year's Olympia was staged is absolutely ridiculous. And thank you to Phil Heath, who on NPC News Online at Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym, the East Coast Mecca, refuted that suggestion by George, who I think is full of something. But you look at someone like Shawn Rhoden, right? Okay. You want to go back farther. You look at someone like Jay Cutler, back 2001, or you look at Dorian Yates in 1991, and you can make the argument, well, you know, Lee Haney won because of the posing. Ronnie Coleman won because of the posing. Fast forward to 2007, you could make a similar ridiculous argument like that and say, you know, Jay Cutler beat Victor Martinez because of the posing. But the reality of it is that Flexitron is a master poser. Flexitron has amazing color. Flexitron is perfectly symmetrical. Flexitron, to answer Dion's question, in my humble opinion, doesn't have any lagging body parts. But here is where we have the major cop-out, okay? In my opinion, Phil Heath still has a more complete physique. Now, what the fuck does that mean? How can I say that when I've said that Shawn Rhoden has no flaws? Well, I don't believe Shawn Rhoden has any flaws. I don't think he needs to put on those 8 or 9 pounds because he's got the illusion effect. I don't believe that it's a height issue because they're the same height. I don't believe it's a muscle maturity issue because if you're good enough to place 2 times top 3 in the Olympia and runner-up at the Arnold Classic, you don't have an issue with muscle maturity. You also don't have an issue with posing. What really should have happened, and what I really hope will happen in 2015, is that we'll see Shawn and Phil side by side, and we'll stop giving gifts to Kai Green, because in all honesty, Kai Green did not belong wedged between those two. But nonetheless, I would still give it to Phil. It's just like one of those things. And it goes back to something that I think a lot of bodybuilding historians, Bob Ciccarello, Sean Ray, a lot of the, I think the historians that I look up to at least, have made the point that when you've got a Mr. Olympia, you've got to knock him out. And like I said on that post on Strength Addicts VIP, I think Shawn Rhoden, under certain circumstances, i.e. Phil is off, which he hasn't been, could edge out Phil Heath. Edge out is not TKO. So again, and I really feel that's what's going to happen with Phil Heath. You're going to have to knock him out. You're not going to have an off year because he's young. You know what I mean? And again, Jay, 100% Jay against 100% Victor, 100% Jay wins, in my opinion. 100% Jay also beats 100% Dexter. 100% Jay could even beat Phil Heath. But the thing is that people don't realize that Jay had a shitload of runner-up positions before he finally won in 2006. That's not the case with Phil Heath. Phil Heath is young. And so for him to come off would mean an injury, which isn't going to happen given the way that Phil Heath trains. He trains smart. And number two, he's got the age on his side. Kai Green doesn't have the age on his side, but Phil Heath does. So again, to me, it would have to be almost like a freak occurrence. It would have to be like Jay with the bicep or Dorian with the tricep. It would have to be an injury, or it would have to be just a catastrophic miscalculation in the prep where maybe he would come in bloated. And again, Louis Marco, and I think I mentioned Louis Marco earlier, and I didn't go exactly where I wanted to go. When they're posting photos of Phil, in an antagonistic comparison to Kai is tensed up and Phil is relaxed. And they're trying to say that Phil has this massive gut, this massive GH gut, or whatever gut they want to call it these days. And I don't think he does. Now, does that say that Robbie Robinson is incorrect? No, of course not. Robbie Robinson is God with a lowercase g, not to be blasphemous. So, he's not wrong. But then again, that same comment could be said to most of the bodybuilders, not Shawn Rhoden, but it could be said to Kai Green especially. It could be said to Big Ramy. It could be said to a lot of the top guys about the gut. Which again goes back to the point of Shawn Rhoden. Shawn Rhoden does not have a gut. So Shawn Rhoden should be first. No, because it's not a gut contest. It's not an abdominal contest. It's not a wheels contest. It's a bodybuilding contest. And in the end, although it may sound like it's a cop-out, and God love you if you're still watching me, because I'm Christian Duke. I'm not like Dave Palumbo. I'm not Lonnie Teeper. I'm not Steve Winterstrom. I'm Christian Duke. If you're still watching at 9 minutes, God bless you, and sayonara and all that fun shit. But the point is that the complete physique that Phil Heath has, nobody on that Olympia stage has. And when somebody suggests that Big Ramy could topple Phil Heath when Shawn Rhoden can't do it, to me is laughable. I mean, if you want to sell amino acid powder, great, yeah, Big Ramy can do it. But, I mean, come on. I mean, Shawn Rhoden, in my opinion, and I love Dennis Wolf. I've always been a huge fan of Dennis Wolf's physique. Not true. I've always been a fan of Dennis Wolf's will, of his iron will, of the idea of another German champion, of the fact that he's sort of towering. But no, I don't like his physique. I have to be honest. I don't like his physique. But I do like Shawn Rhoden's physique. If anybody, I mean anybody can beat Phil Heath, it's Shawn Rhoden. There's no one else. So the fact that he's getting third to Kai Green, and you know what I mean? It's like, I don't get that shit. I don't get it for the life of me. But to answer Dion's question, does Shawn Rhoden have any flaws? I don't think he has any. I really don't think he has any, and I think it's almost like, to me, it's almost like the 98, to keep name drop, but it's really like the 98. I mean, what flaw did Flex Wheeler have? None. What flaw did Ronnie Coleman have? None. But Ronnie Coleman won because, and I agree, he had a more complete physique.